billionaire boyfriend invited you to spend Christmas with his family. So what should you wear? And you also need to go to a holiday office party and you want to dress to impress to get a raise and dress more expensive to be taken more seriously. So, and you have networking events and the ballet, maybe a gala or two, and you want to dress to impress like a billionaireess, but you have a tiny secretary budget. What do you do? Real Masani? How do you do? I'm a certified image consultant, former Miss Universe finalist, and I'm also an etiquette consultant and happily married. So, what do you wear? Also, Chanel, of course, had the fabulous metiers d'art collection, which gives me a lot of the suggestions for this video and a lot of the inspiration. And yes, it was controversial because so many ladies thought, ugh, for all the money I spent at Chanel, oh well, it's not bougie. Actually, the most posh thing on this world is creativity and uniqueness. So, the novel idea of having it in a New York subway is posh. I absolutely love the giraffe bag, and I shouldn't go into it, or then I'll skip the next part, which is equally important: what you shouldn't wear. Whether it's to visit your billionaire boyfriend's parents for the first time for Christmas, or at work, or at the opera or ballet, or at a Christmas reception where you're going to see Handel's Messiah. So what do you not wear, right? Sometimes you can buy a designer dress for $5,000 to wear to your office Christmas party, for it to be only the cheapest looking dress out there. I know, right? So what looks cheap and what looks expensive? We'll start there, because if I talk about metiers d'art, then I'll talk about what looks expensive, and then, pretty much the video's over in a few seconds, so bear with me. We'll first start with what not to do without further ado. So, if your dress for the office Christmas party has more cutouts than fabric, you should cut that dress out of your holiday lineup. It's no longer a dress, but a suggestion. If you're dressed like Santa's helper, no one's going to promote you to be their future boss. Let's look at the etiquette of office holiday parties, shall we? So, when you're going to a holiday reception or party, right, whether it's a company party or you're going to see your boyfriend's millionaire, billionaire parents, right, again, what do those things have in common? They're not Yacht Week in Miami or Ibiza on the club, right? Full dance floor, right? You're not wearing that mini dress. You're not there to seduce. If you have a significant other, he is already seduced. Save that for dinner and the bedroom, because you're dressing to be taken seriously in the boardroom. Whether you're going to church or trying to impress your boss for a raise in the office, or your billionaire boyfriend's parents, or your own family, don't wear the shortest mini dress. if your partner or your spouse likes you, you can wear something sexy in the bedroom. That's not what you wear to impress people in the boardroom or, heaven forbid, at church. Young ladies hate listening to me, but those who pay for my services as an image consultant said that I changed their life and how everyone treated them. Suddenly they were treated seriously and with respect and were able to achieve their goals. I don't teach dressing for your age, but for your goal. So I often tell older ladies to dress younger and younger ladies to dress older. Not necessarily older or younger, but do not look at your peer group for how to dress, but for your goal. So it might be fashionable to wear the shortest miniskirt to look like you're in your tweak in Ibiza, right? And, to wear that to a company office party because everyone your age is doing that. Or whatever is the latest ghastly, beastly trend these days, right? But if you dress your age, you'll not be taken seriously at work. You'll not be taken seriously by your partner's family. You will not get a proposal because, see, the elite create level down propaganda to confuse young ladies where their energy is the highest and the sexual capital is the highest, so that you sabotage yourselves with level down propaganda and give free kitty to dusties. So if you dress your age under 25, you're dressing for the free kitty 50-50 committee. Do you want to split the bill? Do you want hookup culture? Then don't dress your age, alright? Dress for your go, right? So the first thing, do not wear mini skirts and mini dresses and cleavage with big cutouts and so on and so forth. Don't even wear any sort of cleavage to a holiday party. Sure, some other ladies will wear it, but you will stand out for your high value. So this year's Miss Universe or Miss Ford came from an affluent family who won the pageant. But what you'll notice about her dresses that differ from the other contestants is they're significantly more modest because her family is so affluent and she has so much confidence being so high value. She feels she does not need to show the extra skin everyone else does in these pageants. Because her daddy won the pageant. So that's the energy. People will treat you with respect. Act like daddy bought Miss Universe for you. So the first rule is avoid cleavage. Now, what I have done in the past is had something here and then covered my shoulders. But it's better not to show the line with which your chests connect at the office party. Because then you'll have uncomfortable situations. After a couple too many drinks, your supervisor, your superior, might start flirting with you. You reject him and you get fired and there's nothing you can do. Right? You don't want the situation. You want to show that you're elegant, but you don't want to give drunk gentlemen ideas. Yes, I know it's unfair, it's the 21st century and all these things, but I've known ladies who got fired. And my etiquette tip is when you see your boss and gentlemen on their second drink, get out of there. Because when they had too many, they might think the young ladies are flirting with them when you're certainly not. and then you're, what's this, you know? And then what happens? You get fired and there's no recourse. Of course, people say things are wrong. Are you going to sue him? Then no one will hire you, right? So, you know, the world is still dinosaurs walking the earth, but lies that it's modern. Also, don't have more than one drink at an office party. If you have to, alcohol, try to avoid if you can. If you must, have one glass the whole evening. At your boyfriend's family, of course you can have two, but don't get drunk. So now we know the basics of what we shouldn't wear, right? However, I also don't recommend wearing little black or little navy dresses because that's what everyone else is wearing. So I have creative suggestions for you that look far more posh by being more creative, minding us of metiers d'art. Next on what not to do that cheapens the outfit, aside from being basic and looking like everyone else, is when you have your day handbag with your outfit. So if I wore this together, it would look cheap because everyone can buy fakes these days. However, you cannot buy taste. Bourdieu, in his book Distinction, talks about how taste is the main stratifier between the classes. That is the main status signal, taste. So instead, you know, you have an evening clutch like so. Hold your clutch like so, right? Don't hold like this. Clutch etiquette is important, so hold it like so, but lower of course, and or naturally, or like so. That you see, thumb, yeah. Do not hold your clutch like so. It shows you have no breeding and don't know the difference between a finishing school and a hole in the wall. You don't have to listen to that killjoy, Anna Bey, about not wearing sparkle during sparkle season. Of course, you can rise and shine. However, if your sequins are so bright that they blind your boss and are mistaken for police lights, maybe you shouldn't wear that to work. For suggestions on what to actually wear, watch for my part 2 and my analysis on Chanel's metiers d'art. See you soon. Please like or hate, share, subscribe and comment below. Part 2 arrives this Sunday.